Hey everyone, welcome back to Evony with Genghis. So about a week ago, a little bit more, I did a video on Celtic versus Ladon. Who's better? And it really comes down to Celtic's march size versus Ladon's better buffs. So where do you want them? I've moved Ladon to my reinforcing march, and I've been using Celtic on my main march. However, someone else has said to me, you know what? Ladon's best use might be on a sub. He has the best debuffs in the game of anything out there. And let's take a look at that. So basically, most people use Spirit Beasts on their subs. Ladon has a lot of debuffs. He has 3 debuffs, and all of them are important. So we'll take a look at them. Now, you can look at some of these ones and say, okay, so range attack, 34% goes up to 60, I believe. This one's enemy siege HP. This one's enemy siege defense. And that one's enemy mounted troop HP and siege defense. So those are all very important, right? People love to debuff siege HP. But one thing people are sleeping on is siege attack is not getting debuffed by many people anymore. I would way rather debuff the siege HP or siege attack over the siege defense. Like I'd rather max that out than the other one. It's just attack kills your troops. Like the guy's not going to come in and body check you with his big HP, but you got to lower his HP to be able to hurt him, obviously. But I'd rather debuff full siege attack. But the fact is, most people aren't anymore. I noticed a couple months ago that I wasn't anymore when I was going up against the really big people who are hitting with very high siege attack. So I made it a point to focus on it and get it back under control. So now let's look at the debuff dragons and see what we have here. So let's look at Z's. So Z's is someone that I have it on a sub right now? Martinez. No, I don't. However, when I do play All-Stars, I move him onto a sub. I use his debuffs. Now, would I do that with all the new spiritual beasts? I'd have to take a look and reassess that, but that is what I used to do. As of now, my plan would be that I would still do that. He debuffs ground HP, ground and mounted defense. Then, in the talents, so this one doesn't count, because that's going to debuff no matter where he is. So let's look at these ones. No debuff here, which is why it's at 10. And no debuff here, which is why it's at 10. Okay, so to recap that, he's debuffing ground, defense, and HP, and mounted defense. Pretty good stuff to debuff. Not the best, but pretty good. And right here, Norway Ridge is someone that lots of people do put on a sub, and I have it on a sub right here. You can see that it is on Jan Carroll. Now let's look at what he's debuffing. Enemy mounted troop, 50%, and enemy ground HP, 50%. Let's look at the talents. Enemy ground HP, another 20% for me, but it's only at level 40. And that's it. This talent debuffs yourself. That's why it's in red. So to recap, we get ground HP, mounted HP. Nothing really important though, right? Like it is important, especially if you're a player who's going to be getting attacked by ground troops. So you're not the largest player. If you want to put them on, you can. Or if you are attacking people, you want the debuff for attack. Definitely you want to lower the horse HP and the ground HP. So now let's look at what Ladon brings to the table if you were to throw him on a sub. So he brings minus 30 troop defense for me, and it'll go higher. Minus 50 mounted HP. Probably tops out at 56 going by this, maybe 60. Enemy troop defense, 34, 35, top out. It's pretty good. Then if we go into the talents, nothing here. This one works for all, but this one, look at this, almost 50% siege machine attack, and I only have it at 69%. That's a really, really important thing to debuff. For a larger player, so All-Stars, I go to All-Stars. For me, debuffing siege attack is more important than debuffing ground and mounted for me. So this is something that I'm going to do. And troop defense, all troop defense. So it's debuffing siege defense and archer defense that will be attacking me. So for me, I've made up a decision. Next All-Stars, I will be putting Ladon on a sub. I will not put him on a sub in regular Battlefield because I use my reinforcing archer march a lot. It's very powerful. It gives us lots and lots of points when I reinforce people with archers, especially obviously if horse are coming in or if we're doing a combination march in a building. So in regular Battlefield, it has a purpose for me on a sub or on a general, because realistically, if I'm a target in our battlefields, we've lost. Not, I do go into port swaps, so it could help in that aspect, but I just think it's better use for me on a reinforcing general for now. So let me know your thoughts on this. Has anyone ever been using Ladon on a sub? Obviously, don't do it all the time, but it does have value. This is very interesting stuff, and glad that someone gave me this tip. Let me know what you guys think about it, and like, subscribe, leave a comment.